Hi guys, it's Katie here from Creativa. Welcome back. This is part 2 of the desk organizer that we have been making using the Broderie SVG files for mini albums. And this is just another project that we can do using those files, which it's much quicker than making a mini album, and I think that these desk organizers make great gifts. So SVG files are scalable vector graphic files, and I have created this series of SVG files that you can use in cutting machines like a Creativa, Silhouette or a Brothers Scan and Cut. And if you're interested, you could pop over to my Etsy store and I'll put the link below. And if you'd like to see the first part of this two-parter on making the desk organizer, I'll also put the link to that one down below. So in the last episode, or the last part, I had put it all together, but just with paper clips, because the video was getting so ridiculously long and I was making so many ridiculous mistakes, errors, that I thought, you know, I will just put it together using paper clips so you could see it, and then I would put it together off camera, and then we could go through it and finish off doing the inserts. So this is where I'm up to. I have matted this whole thing now. It wasn't matted in the first part, but we had cut out the mats and I'd shown them to you and where they went. So here we are. I've matted it, all except for a couple of mats which we can do together. I've put in this magnetic clasp, and it's actually a kind of a handbag clasp. So I used to do a lot of sewing and make handbags, so I had some of these spare and I thought I would use it for this. So it's quite nice and sturdy, it's really strong, and it saved me using too many other magnets. So then we open it up, and I'll just move some stuff aside. We have these two pockets. So I had shown you that where these two pockets were going, but now I've just attached them and I've just put a couple of little labels on there. And then we open it up again, and on the other side of that we have a corner pocket. And then when we look at the center section, you've got this big pocket here, which is where I say I'm going to put my bills and things so that they're not floating around on my desk, but at the same time they are contained somewhere. Then we have a double belly band, so we have this big belly band here, and then on top of it we have this second belly band, so we can slide a couple of things in there. Then on this side we have a traditional kind of a waterfall that we might have in a mini album, but this time what I've done is I've attached index cards on here so that I can write all my lists, because I love a list, and then when I'm done with that list I can just pull out the index card and pop in a new one and start again. So I love this idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but or using a waterfall in this way, because now I can have you know, my shopping list, and I can have my bills to pay list, and I can have my, I don't know, whatever, cleaning. I don't really like cleaning very much. But, you know, lists, if I'm planning a holiday or an event or something like that, then I can just write it on here, and once I've done with it, I can just get rid of it. So that's that one. And then this page here is also another pocket, so we can put stash some things in there as well. And then on this side we have this nice big deep pocket here, and on this side we have that same pocket but just as a sideways pocket in here. And then again we have another one of these big pockets that we can stash things in here. So lots of pockets. So we got to that stage. There were just a couple of things that I needed to do here that I hadn't done. And one of those was to put in the binding mats. So I showed you those in the previous video, but we have just cut out two of these B3 binding mats here. So all the mats for everything are in pink, and all the main pieces themselves are in blue. So I've just cut out 2 of these B3 binding mats, and they are just going to go down here and here. So I have those here, and I've cut them out of my Atlas paper that I've been using, and I love it. I think it looks awesome, and so I will definitely be using that again to do something. So I don't use quite so much scrapbook paper, and it doesn't look quite so busy. But I just love the format of these Atlas index pages. So I don't know, there's a lot of glue on there again, but I'm just going to lay that down on here. So of course my Cricuts cut these out for me to size, so I didn't have to do any cutting, measuring or scoring for these pieces because they're part of the SVG files. So I can just make sure that that's nicely attached there. When I say nicely attached, I mean it's straight and there's not glue oozing out the sides, which there kind of is. So I have my trusty rag here, which is well loved, and then we can put one in this side as well. And then we just need to put a mat on my outside spine, and because we've kind of cobbled this Desk Organiser thingamy together from different pieces from the SVG file, SVG files, just another project that we can use them for. I don't actually have a piece that I can use for that in the SVG files, but that's okay because, whoops, all I need to do, that's this piece, this part here. Let's flip it over so we can look at that. All I had to do was cut out a rectangle that's going to fit in there, and I just cut that out of some scraps, and it's just going to go in there. So I will just stick that on. Oops, I'm surrounded by stuff all around me. So that will finish this whole desk organiser off. Yeah, and as I was saying, I think these would make fantastic gifts. So much quicker to make than a mini album, and really practical and useful, I think. You know, when I bring the mail in and I've got all these bills and things, I just leave them sitting on the bench or on my desk or whatever. And it'd be nice just to know that they were in one place, but that I didn't have to look at them all the time, you know. Bit of organisation and neatness. Right, so that's the whole organiser finished off now. And so I'll just attach that together like that. I'm really happy with that. I'm really looking forward to using it. So we were also had a couple of other parts to it that we were working on. So I went ahead and matted all of those and put them together. So the first one was the little wallet folder. So this is cut from some of the pieces from the SVG files, and I actually have a list here of all the pieces that I've used and all the mats that I've used and then amount that I need for each one of those. And I'm going to put this in the file section of my Facebook group, which, if you'd like to join, is called Bella Creativa Divas. And I'll put a link to that in the description box as well. And this will be in the files section. So I'll just pop that to the side. So we have cut out 2 of the D2 pieces and 4 of the mats. And I've just matted that, and we've put the corner pockets on also, which was J8, I believe. 2 of those and 2 mats, and that's our little wallet folder. So that's easy done. And we already cut it all out in the last... We cut the tabs off and sort of constructed it in the last video, but I just wanted to show you it finished. And then we also did the same with the little notebook. So here's the notebook here. Isn't that pretty? So the notebook we made from 2 D3 pieces and 4 D6 mats. And then, so I've done that, and then I have just printed out some double-sided lined paper, and I'm going to attach that. But we might do that at the end of this video. couple of other things that I wanted to make today was an envelope to go in our desk organiser. So for that envelope, we had already run through the parts, but we have one of the F2 pieces here, which if I just get out my book, I can show you what it looks like in the SVG files. Sorry, I'll move all of this to the side. So we have an F2 piece, which is this pocket here. And then we have two of the F5s, which is this pocket here. There's two of those. Whoops, there's the other one. And then we have cut two of the F8 mats, which are these two here. And three of the F11s, which are these ones here. So let's just put that together, and then we have a little envelope. And I think the idea, my idea for using the envelope is to be able to put receipts and bits and pieces like that in there. So just get out my glue protector because I get glue everywhere. So the reason, this is actually a pocket, so if we were making one of the mini albums, we could use this as a pocket, or in fact we have used it as a pocket in the desk organiser already. It was on this first flip. I think that's an F2. Yeah, so it comes as a pocket, but we're not going to use it as a pocket. We're just using it as the back of an envelope. So we're going to cut off all three of those tabs. And then on this one here, the F5, also a pocket, but today this one we are going to use as a pocket, and that's going to be the bottom of our envelope. And then this other F5, we're going to cut off these two tabs, and this is going to be the top flip for our envelope. So we just need to cut those two off and these three off. So let's just get out the cutting board and do that. So I've designed these SVG files so that you don't have to, you know, if you're making mini albums, or in this case desk organiser, or anything else you can think to make with them, that the pieces themselves are versatile because they have lots of tabs on them, which means that, you know, there's more opportunities to do different things with them. But also we don't have to do the measuring and the scoring, and that is all done by the cutting machine. In my case, I use a Cricut, so this is all done by the Cricut. But this is the only cutting that we really have to do, which is just cutting off the tabs that we don't need for whatever it is that we're making. Right, so that's that. And I could have measured this and cut a piece out this size myself, but you know, I was already cutting things on my Cricut, and I know that this fits these pieces perfectly, so why would I do anything else other than you know, just cut out this piece? So that's what I did. So I'm just going to quickly ink around the edges because I like inking around the edges. And I am using the VersaFine in the Vintage Sepia. And the reason is this craft paper cardstock is really thirsty. It really sucks up the ink, and so I find that the distressed oxides or the distress inks that I've been using, oops, don't put that away yet, baby, takes heaps of ink to do it, to get it nice and dark, whereas this is nice. I'm going to round my corners here on this little flip, so I'll just go ahead and do that. Whoops. So I'll just do that like so. Okay, now I think I'm okay. So what I'm going to do is, now I've made these envelopes before and I've used the policy style closure, but I want this to be nice and easy. So I'm just going to use Velcro tabs to hold this one closed, which makes it really easy to put together. So this one here that we haven't cut the tabs off is going to be our bottom pocket. So I'm just going to fold up those tabs, put some glue on them. One and two. And this last one. Gluey, thummy mess. I filled up the glue bottle and I changed the nib to one that I thought was less, was smaller, you know, so not so much glue would come out. But I was wrong because I'm getting glue everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this to the bottom. And these pieces I've used in albums to make flip pockets, so flip envelopes and all sorts of things, so they're really, really good. I'll just burnish that down, find my rag to get my gluey mess off. I swear no one else makes as much mess on camera as me, but I just can't help myself, so bear with me. Okay, and then this one here I'm just going to attach to the top like so, and I think I'm going to put it with the tab on the outside because it makes a cleaner finish on the top. And that's how you do glue. I still managed to get it on my finger. Alright, so I'll just turn it sideways because it's easier. I'm just lining it up and making sure that it's lined up. Which, you know, these pieces fit so nicely together because they're, you know, cut by my Cricut instead of my shaky hand. And there we have it, a nice little envelope. So now we can just map that up. So I have got my Atlas index here, and I'm just going to pop that on the back. Oh, did I mention that the mats are part of the SVGs? I can't remember. Anyway, all the mats for all the pieces are part of the SVG files as well, so you don't have to measure up your mats either. That's all done for you. All we have to do is decide which paper to cut them out of. There we go. And on the front here I have got one of these as well. And I've just decided to use this Atlas paper for nearly all of this. I have a sticker book for the paper collection that I'm using. I haven't mentioned that, have I, in this video? I'm using this paper collection and I can't lay my hands on it. Oh, here it is. It's by Kaisercraft. It's called Rosabella, and I think it's pretty. But I didn't want to use all of that all the way through, so I've been using my index paper from an old atlas that I got from the op shop. And I bought a sticker book to go with it, and I'm kind of digging the sticker book, this one here. And so I've been using some of those stickers, which I've been really enjoying. I've never bought a sticker book to go with a collection before, so I'm good with that. It's awesome. And I also bought some curios, which I have got here. These are the ones I haven't used, so I've still got 4 left, and I've used a couple in here. So they're the round glass curios. There's one there and one there, and I think they're pretty groovy too. So, and I've still got some left over, so that's cool. Anyway, back to our envelope. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. So I want to stick this in here, I think. How am I going to go with that? Yeah, should be okay. Let's give it a go. So I wanted to make this desk organiser, and I'm making this one for myself, part of my 2020 plan to be organised. I'm not much of a planner, but I think I might give it a go. But right now I just want to be a bit more organised instead of having random bits of paper and bills and receipts and lists all floating around, or writing my things in a million different books. I just want a place where it's all contained. I cut this one the wrong way, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. I can deal with it. I don't think it matters, and it's not the only mistake I've made making this desk organiser. Alright, so I'm going to put that on here. I was actually thinking, you know, I've set this up as a separate project in my Cricut design space, and I really think I could pump a few out, and that they'd be good for maybe craft fairs or yeah, gifts, something like that. Who doesn't need a little bit of organisation? And I'm just going to pop this one on top. And you don't need to put all these inserts in here. I just wanted to give you some ideas of the type of inserts that you could put in. So that one's stuck down. Glue there. Okay, so there's our little envelope. Cute. And you know, I could put a sticker or something on there, maybe later. I don't know. But right now, I want to hold it closed. So I'll just look in my pile of stuff here, because I just decided I wanted an easy access, and so I have these little Velcro dots, which are pretty cool. So I'm just going to roughly, because I'm a bit pedantic about, you know, things being in the centre, so I'm just going to quickly measure this. And of course, this is not the size that the files actually come in. I've sized this up on my canvas in my Cricut, and I've got a video on how to do that, so I'll try and remember to link that one for you as well, in case you're interested in how you can make things bigger or smaller. So then I'm just going to pop this little other dot upside down on top of that one, and there we go. Press it down nice and firmly, and we have ourselves a little envelope for our organiser. Cute. Okay, so we have got our envelope, we've got our wallet folder, we've got our notebook, but we still need to sew that in. And then the other thing was a little sticky notes holder, so I cut some bits out for that as well, and that's these pieces here. And I've actually already made one. Let me show you. This is what I want to do. So just a little booklet, nothing too fancy. It just opens up. But I found these stickies that I loved, and I just thought it'd be nice in a little booklet. So I've already made this one, and this is like a portrait style because my list goes this way. But the other one that I have, so that one says list, and then the other one I had was here, to do, and it's portrait landscape. So I'm going to make another one of these little booklets this way for this little sticky notes. So to do this, we cut out some pieces. Let's get out our book of pieces, and we cut out two of these F6 pieces, which are waterfall pieces or pocket. So I actually used the F6 to make the waterfall here. These are those pieces, F6 pieces. But this time we're going to use them to make a little booklet. So 2 F6s, 4 of these F12 mats, and then 2 of the F13 mats, which are the tiny little mats that go along there like that. Okay, so I've already cut those out, and that's these pieces here. And so there's my 4 mats, there's my 2 little skinny bits. I actually cut these out of the strips down the side of the scrapbook paper, and that's why they look cute like that. So that was good. Okay, so on these 2 pieces here, these F6 pieces, we don't need these 2 side tabs, so we're going to cut those off again on both of those. So let's get out a cutter, cutting tool, and trim this out. And we can just throw these tabs away. And this one too. So I put marks on the pieces that are sides or the tabs that I need to cut off, because I get talking and then I end up cutting the wrong tabs off. I also generally write on my pieces what they are. I haven't on these ones, but I would normally write on here F6 so that I know what it is in case I don't use it, or, you know, I do something strange. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to attach those 2 together. So let's round our corners. 1, 2, and 1, 2. And I'll just quickly ink up around here. Side 2. And that side. Same on this one. This side. Flip over. You really wonder sometimes why you do this. It just seems like a bit of extra work, but it just doesn't look right now to my mind if it's not finished with a bit of inking. Okay, so now using our glue, we are just going to stick these 2 babies together like so. And on one of these I've inked up all the way around here on one side, but I haven't on the other, and I want the non-inked edges to be joined together like so. So let's do that. Lay that down there and there. Get glue all over my fingers. Okay, make sure we're happy with that. And make sure that it lines up nicely when we close it that way and that way. And then like that. Fabulous. Okay. So this one I want to be portrait. So now all I need to do is mat this one up. And on the other one, I did this closure. I put an eyelet in the spine piece, not centered, you can see, but and then I put this ribbon through it, and to hold the ribbon on, I just put a tiny little seed bead here, threaded it onto my ribbon, and it's just a little bit too big to fit through the eyelet, and that's all I did. And that's super easy. But I won't do that with this one. We'll just leave it as is. Maybe we could put a bit of Velcro on here or something as well. Okay, so my mats. This is my front. So one of these is going to be my front. This one. Do I want it this way? I think so. Just need to round these edges. Fix up those naked corners. And glue this down. Pop that down in here. And try not to wiggle it. I feel like it's not stuck down very well on this edge, but I can sort that out later. Okay, then on the inside, I'm going to use these two pieces here. Right, so we need to round these two corners at the top. I always leave the edge rounding to the end because I have been known to get it wrong. And then this one is at the bottom. Of course, you don't need to round your corners. I like it. I think that they are a bit more durable like that too. So I can just pop these on. Just to make sure it's the right way up. So I'm going to open it from that way. Yes. Stick that down. Wipe the glue up. This one here. This is really just a bit of matting, isn't it? Really exciting to watch. Anyway. So this time we've made a booklet instead of a waterfall, just using the same pieces. You could also use these as the base of an envelope as well. And then the back. So around these edges. You could also do them as use them as side flips in your mini album. Yeah. I have a whole playlist dedicated to these SVG files. It's called the Broderie playlist. So if you're interested, please stop by and check out some of those videos on how I put together a mini album and how I use the pieces in different ways. Okay, and then we just have our two little pieces here. I'm going to flip this around because I think I want my butterflies to go that way. And just pop that one down. Oh, that was a funny noise. I'll do it again. And then we've got one for this middle section here as well. So let's get that one and pop that there. So when I decided which size I wanted to use for these sticky notes, I just looked at my SVG files and found a pocket that was the size that I wanted to use. Otherwise, if I couldn't have found one that was the size that I wanted to use, I could have just resized it. For me, in my Cricut design space. It's just important to remember that if anything that you resize, you need to resize the mat at the same time, otherwise they won't fit. So that's the thing to remember. Okay, so then we can take our little sticky labels. And if you're in Australia, I've got these from Officeworks, and I think that's rose gold or copper or something. Anyway, I liked it. Right, so I'm going to pull off this back piece. I've got glue all over my fingers. Oops, that didn't come off very well. And I found that even with this sticky back that it's got at the top here, it didn't stick very well. So I just put a bit of glue on there as well. And that's up to you and how sticky you think it is. I did because I figure there's quite a few here. I think this will last me a while. Okay, now I'm going to just try and line this up. And I think I want to put it more towards the top. About like so. And I'm thinking that I want to do it like that because then when I close it up I could put a Velcro dot there. Oh, you know, I don't even know if I need to. I'm pretty happy with the way it does that. That's good. Alright, so that's our sticky notes booklet. And then I'm just going to zip back to this notebook and just sew it in. Now I'm pretty sure that most of you would know how to do that, so I've just folded my paper in half and I cut it down to size. I didn't need to have much cut off it. I ran at the edges because I wanted them to be the same as my book. I just like that. I think it's nifty. And then I think there's 10 sheets in here. I probably could do more, but that's pretty good for now. And then I'm just going to use my giant paper clips and clip it together. So, make sure they're all lined up. Make sure it's lined up at the top and the bottom. Are you lined up at the top and the bottom? Yes. Okay, and then I'm just going to find the centre. And that would appear to be roughly about there. Now, this is the size that I like to do, or the size that I made it. The size you make it can be completely up to you. And so then I've done it 2 centimetres from the top and 2 centimetres from the bottom. And then in this mess beside me, I'm going to find my awl and poke 3 holes in there. One. Oh, I'm going to hope it comes through on that spine. Yes. One there. Comes through on the spine. And this one here. Perfect. And I have got a piece of this hemp twine stuff and threaded it onto my needle. And I think I'm going to start from the outside. If I start my sewing from the outside, then it will finish on the outside. So my cords will hang down on the outside. So I'm just going through the middle hole. This is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I've seen a million people do it. You've probably seen a million people do it. I haven't made my hole big enough. I'm just going to make it work. Okay, and then I'm going to go up to this top one and thread it through there. And make sure that my tail stays there. Then I'm going to go all the way to the top. All the way to the top and through that hole, and I nearly stabbed my finger. Oh, come on. I should have made my hole bigger. Come on. We're nearly there. It's because this hemp, it's not hemp, it's just, I don't know. What is it? Size or kind of stuff. And then I'm just going to go back through that centre hole what is it? Like burlappy kind of twine. I don't know. And I've come up on the same side as this one here, so I'm just going to slide back under there. And I'm going to pull it, but not too tight. Make sure I'm happy with that. And I am. So then I can just tie a knot. I'm sure there's some fancy knot that you're supposed to tie, but you know, I'm good with the granny. That's it. And then I can just trim it off. And that's our notebook done. So we could put some kind of a closure on here, but I'm not going to. I'm just not. I'm going to continue with my big gold pack clips. Okay, so let's put all these things that we have made into the organiser. So here's my organiser. And I have got some other things off to the side here as well. Okay, we've got this little sticky notes, which I'll just tie up. This one looks pretty. Ooh. So I have to confess, I have a Cricut. In fact, I have two. But I also have a Big Shot, and this pretty little lace here is a Tim Holtz die fillet. This one here. And I like it because I like this because it's really intricate, which I think sometimes these thin dies run through a die cutting machine work better at these really intricate things. But also I can use my scraps to cut these things out. So those little skinny scraps that you can do nothing else with, and just run it through the die cutting machine. So that's what's on here, and I might come along later and put one on my other one. Okay, this one here I thought I would put in this pocket. So that's just going to go in there like that, looking pretty, like so. And then I was hoping that this one would fit under here. It might be a bit chunky, but I'm going to make it work. Look at that. Pretty. And then this wallet, I was thinking I would put under the back here. But what I might do is put some spare index cards in there. So I have a few index cards. I'll just pop some in each side there. So when I finish with my my index cards that are in here, I can just grab a new one out of that wallet. So I'm going to slide that in here. Hang on a minute. I'll put this one in first. There we go. And then this one in here. Oh, maybe this is going to be the problem. Oh, no, it's not going to fit in there now. Okay. Well, we'll just pop it in here. Like this. That looks funny. I don't know. Maybe we'll have these both in here together. Chunky. My notebook I tend to keep at the back here. So I'm going to pop that in here. Oh, this is a sticker from the sticker, and I need to put a bit of glue under there because it's coming out. So it looked a little bit weird when I stuck it straight on that paper, on my atlas paper, you know, because the paper's quite white and it didn't blend together. So all I did was got a little watercolour pencil, and this is in raw umber, and I just kind of drew around the edges with my watercolour pencil, and then I just came along with a wet brush and just brushed it out, you know, just to get it to look like it was meant to be on that page. I don't know, I think it works better. So anyway, my notepad's going in there. Might even put it in like that. So my envelope, oops, I'm stuck on something. My envelope, I think I'll put in this pocket here. Right, and then I'm just thinking I might put a sheet of my stickers in here because I like them. And these ones at the back have got lots of little things that might be useful. So I might put one of those in here somewhere. And I I did these little laminate cards. See these two here? Just a bit of this paper, scrapbook paper, and it's just a little scrap off the side, and I've just laminated it. And on this one I've put some of the gold paper clips and little gold bulldog clips, and on this one I've just wrapped some washi that I thought I might like. So I'm just going to put those in here, and there. Then I have some of these journal cards. So these are Kaisercraft Captured Moments, double-sided 3x4-inch journal cards. And I just chose these ones because they're quite plain. They're not all that plain on the back, but I like the front being plain. I thought it kind of went with the theme. So I was just going to throw some of those in here, so I can use those when I want to, like so. And maybe put one of these in here, and I can put a couple in here. Or I could put these in my envelope. How about that? Put those in here. Put my envelope in there, and that, I think that needs some prettying up. And then my sticker sheet I might stick in here, so it's there to use. And it looks pretty chunky, but closes up and do it up, and there she is, all done. I'm really happy with that. I can't wait to start using it, and I do love my stickies, and I've got lots of them. Oh, I've got my other stickies I was going to show you. These sticky index cards. Now, I like those too, and I had to have those. I don't know about you, but I went to Officeworks the other day and I spent $20 just on stickies. So maybe I'll just put that over here. Put those over here with my envelope, like so. Now she's chunky. So when I want to write in something, I can just pull out my notebook and I don't have to be worried about all this chunky stuff. But in the meantime, I've got places to store everything, and it does up. And as you can see, there's way too much stuff in there, but I couldn't help myself, so there you go. I probably will take some of it out so that I can fit some of my bills in. But anyway, the Desk Organiser using the Broderie SVG files. Thanks very much for your patience. I'm sorry about the first part of the video that just went on and on and on. I'm usually a little bit better than that, but I just got sidetracked. Anyway, I hope you come back. I hope if you're interested, you check out the rest of the Broderie playlist. And have a great day. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much. Bye.